Tehran, one of the world's most populous cities, is facing a dire air pollution crisis. The air quality has deteriorated to alarming levels, posing a severe threat to its 9 million residents. In December 2024, the city experienced unhealthy air quality for all its citizens. The air quality index soared past 150 in over 90% of monitoring stations. This signifies a critical situation, nearing the extremely unhealthy levels. The crisis is particularly severe in districts 19 and 20, where the concentration of pollutants is exceptionally high. These areas are experiencing significantly reduced visibility, and a thick haze hangs in the air. This hazardous air quality is not just a temporary inconvenience, it's a major public health emergency. The most vulnerable members of society, including children, the elderly, and those with pre-existing respiratory conditions, are at a significantly heightened risk. This environmental crisis is not unique to Tehran. Major cities around the world, particularly in developing countries, are grappling with similar challenges. Rapid urbanization, industrial growth, and a heavy reliance on fossil fuels have created a toxic cocktail of pollutants in the air we breathe. The consequences are dire, impacting not just our environment, but also our health and well-being. The situation demands immediate attention and action. Addressing this crisis requires a multi-pronged approach, including stricter regulations on industrial emissions, promoting cleaner energy sources, and improving public transportation systems. The health of millions is at stake, and the time for complacency is long gone. In response to the alarming air pollution levels, authorities in Tehran have implemented several emergency measures. Schools, particularly elementary and below, were closed across Tehran and Alborz provinces on December 7th and 8th, 2024. This measure aimed to protect children who are particularly vulnerable to the adverse effects of air pollution. To further curb emissions, a 48-hour ban on truck traffic was imposed in Tehran. Additionally, all football matches in Tehran province were cancelled to discourage outdoor activities and minimize exposure to the hazardous air. These actions, while necessary, are merely temporary fixes. They offer a brief respite, but fail to address the root causes of this persistent issue. The government has also recommended the formation of an emergency task force to tackle the crisis. This task force would ideally be composed of experts from various fields, including environmental science, urban planning, and public health. Their primary objective would be to develop and implement a comprehensive plan to mitigate the pollution and prevent future episodes. However, the effectiveness of such a task force remains to be seen. There is a growing skepticism among citizens and experts who argue that the government needs to go beyond these temporary measures. The demand is for systemic changes in policies, infrastructure, and energy production to find a sustainable solution to Tehran's air pollution crisis. The invisible threat of air pollution has a devastating impact on human health. In Tehran, it is estimated that approximately 50,000 deaths annually are attributed to air pollution, accounting for a staggering 12% of total deaths. This alarming figure underscores the severity of the crisis and its profound consequences for public health. The most common health problems linked to air pollution are respiratory and cardiovascular diseases. Prolonged exposure to high levels of pollutants can lead to asthma, bronchitis, lung cancer, heart attacks, and strokes. Children are particularly vulnerable as their lungs are still developing, and they breathe at a faster rate than adults. The elderly and individuals with pre-existing respiratory or heart conditions are also at a higher risk of experiencing severe health complications due to air pollution. The burden on the healthcare system is immense, with hospitals and clinics often overwhelmed during periods of peak pollution. The economic costs associated with treating pollution-related illnesses are substantial. Lost productivity, increased healthcare expenditures, and reduced quality of life all contribute to the economic burden of this public health emergency. It is crucial to recognize that air pollution is not just an environmental issue. It's a multifaceted problem with far-reaching consequences for individuals, communities, and the nation as a whole. Tehran's air pollution crisis is a complex issue with multiple contributing factors. One major culprit is the burning of mazout, a heavy fuel oil, in power plants. Mazout is a highly polluting fuel source, releasing large amounts of particulate matter and other harmful pollutants into the atmosphere. The city's aging transportation infrastructure further exacerbates the problem. Low-quality vehicles, often lacking proper emission control systems, are major contributors to air pollution. The lack of a comprehensive and efficient public transportation system forces many residents to rely on private vehicles, further increasing traffic congestion and emissions. Industrial practices also play a significant role in the crisis. Many industries continue to rely on outdated technologies and low-quality fossil fuels, releasing a toxic cocktail of pollutants into the air. The government's subsidies on energy prices, while intended to make energy affordable, have inadvertently encouraged overconsumption and hindered the transition to cleaner energy sources. Moreover, rapid urbanization and uncontrolled urban sprawl have resulted in the loss of green spaces and increased traffic congestion. The lack of adequate green cover reduces the city's capacity to absorb and filter pollutants. Deforestation in surrounding areas has also exacerbated the problem by increasing dust storms, further deteriorating air quality. Addressing this multifaceted crisis requires a fundamental shift in policies, urban planning, and individual behaviors.